All right, back by popular demand.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, fractal Bitcoin. Welcome to today's Bitcoin news video. I'm Chris, and yes, we talk about Bitcoin, but the show is mainly about your future and your prosperity and the prosperity of your family and all that too. So let's get right to it. This is the current Bitcoin chart. You can see today we're up a little bit. We actually went all the way up above 70K briefly, but now we're back in price right now is right around 68,000 even. And yesterday we had a big red day, but today we're bouncing back. But look, let's zoom out. And you can see, this is showing you the last few years. You can see we bottomed out in November of 2022, and we've been coming up ever since. And now we're just been hanging around up here for 3 or 4 months, almost 5 months, 3-4 months. And so we're going to break out pretty soon. And Prolific Joints tells us there will be over $10 billion of short liquidations once Bitcoin hits 74K. Get ready. Yeah, and you can see this the yellow color here. These are all shorts. So once the price goes up there, these shorts are going to get wrecked. And then that's going to probably send the Bitcoin price even higher. So that's what happens when shorts get wrecked. The price sort of continues up because there's no more pressure of the shorts, whatever. I'm not a trader. I don't know everything. If you know more than me about this, please comment below. I'd love to learn. And yeah, here's the Rational Root posting the on-chain value map. I thought this was very interesting because the green in the middle, there's a green dotted line. That's the fair value. And then you have heavily overvalued and then undervalued. You can see right now we're right about in the middle, but you see these vertical lines, the halvings. Look what happens to the whole band after the halvings. The whole band shoots way up. The whole band shoots way up. The whole band shoots way up. Well, that's where we are now. This whole thing's going to shoot way up. So right now, the heavy overvalued price number is 135,000. But again, that's like the equivalent of here. It's going to go up considerably. Or it's the equivalent of here. It's going to go up considerably. So this is good. This is really good, actually. All right, breaking news. Donald Trump says Bitcoin mining may be our last defense against the CBDC. This is clown world, man. I got to report on this garbage. Trump and politics. I'm not into politics. I'm not into government, actually. I think they're all criminals. All these politicians are criminals. Although, arguably, in reality, Trump is a better choice than the other choice. But the president doesn't have that much power. Let's stop deluding ourselves. The whole system is corrupt. A president can hardly do anything in 4 years, although can mess up a lot of things in 4 years for sure. But to fix everything, yeah, we'll see. But anyway, it is interesting that now Bitcoin is becoming sort of an election topic, right? It's weird. Yeah, and he also says, we want all the remaining Bitcoin to be made in the USA. What? Anyway, here's his message. Here's his actual message. Vote for Trump. Bitcoin mining may be our last line of defense against the CBDC. Biden's hatred of Bitcoin only helps China, Russia, and the radical communist left. We want all the remaining Bitcoin to be made in the USA. It will help us be energy dominant. Okay. Anyway, clown world, but I have to bring you the news. So here's more adoption news. Breaking. Brazil's biggest bank, Itaú Unibanco, launches Bitcoin trading to all customers. It has 60 million customers in Latin America. So, okay, adoption, check. Or not really. It's like adoption is ongoing, but it's happening quickly, right? This year, can you believe it? It was only in January that the ETF was approved. But remember before the ETF, Bitcoin was like, for drug cartels and scammers and hackers and right? Remember that? Remember that time? It ain't like that anymore, is it? Now all of a sudden everybody's okay with Bitcoin. We got banks rolling out to 60 million customers. They can buy and sell Bitcoin. Are you kidding? This is This is the adoption year, actually. And more adoption, the Taunton firefighters, Local 138, became the fourth union in the USA to place Bitcoin on its balance sheet. Unions holding Bitcoin is now coast to coast. Yeah, these unions are buying Bitcoin to put on their balance sheet because they realize that Bitcoin just keeps appreciating, as opposed and opposite of the US dollar. Right? Wow. All right, subscribe if you'd like to. And let's get into a couple stories about fiat government nonsense for context, because Bitcoin solves these issues. First one, Moscow Stock Exchange stops trading in US dollars and euros. Yeah, this is the big news today. And a lot of people are reporting this. Putin just said, we are considering diversification to balance the current USD monopoly and he halts US trading. It's time to adopt Bitcoin, Putin. This is what Vivek said. I mean, I don't know if they're going to adopt Bitcoin, but they're getting away from the US dollar, and so are all the BRICS countries. Eventually, they're working on it. They've been working on it for years. And today, in the clown world with the Fed, we have they gave the inflation numbers, which is just a crock. They're just garbage. They're just made up numbers. Okay, U.S. inflation falls to 3.3%, lower than expectations. Yeah, this is dumb. It's not. They just make up numbers. In fact, they took remember, it was like a few weeks ago, and they've done this several times over the past few months. They'll take something out of this whatever industries they're tracking. If an industry is doing really bad, like the coffee industry, they'll just take it out. Like if the coffee industry is inflating like crazy and ruining their numbers, they'll just take the coffee numbers out, and then the rest looks okay. But so they're fudging the numbers, okay? We all know that. I hope we all know that. Yeah, 3.3%. Yeah, here's the Feds feeding fake inflation numbers to you. This is what it looks like. This is what the Fed is doing. This is all fake. This isn't real. They're just fudging the numbers. The US dollar and the US economy is in grave danger. And we're feeling it slowly, but it's going to get a lot worse. And Wall Street Silver reminds us, remember, CPI doesn't actually measure inflation. They use tricks like owner's equivalent rent to hide the costs of housing increase. Instead of 119%, CPI magically claims it was only 21% since 2021. So another example how they just fudge numbers to make it look good so that all the citizens just keep their head down and keep doing the same thing. Meanwhile, the economy's being ruined, the dollar's being shredded, inflated to infinity, which really means zero. All right, and this is interesting. If your parents made $80K in the 90s, you have to make $246,000 in 2024 to have the same life. Yeah, $246K is the new $80K. Think about that. The 90s, that wasn't that long ago. Well, 30 years, that's a generation. Yeah, here's 2014, $260K. You buy a nice, huge, awesome house. These days, same $250K gets you this little cottage. Yeah, when you finally make it to the middle class and inflation gets so high, it makes you lower class again. Yeah, this is just insane. What inflation? A package of ground beef costs the same as it did last month. Look at how small that package of ground beef is. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, this is something called the Light Phone 3 that I found. It's actually a phone. I haven't looked into it too much, but apparently it's $400, but it looks to me like it's a phone for people who want to get away from a smartphone. Yeah, they say it's a tool for a better life, introducing the Light Phone 3, a phone designed to give you the tools to flourish as the most thoughtful and intentional version of yourself. I'm going to look into this. So I really like the idea of having alternative phones. I mean, I myself have a de-Googled Android running Graphene OS, because I wanted to get away from Google and Apple. So I applaud any company trying to make a different phone in a different way. I think this is the future, right? When people start to wake up that Apple and Google and Microsoft, these are all just companies that are just sucking your data and selling it and spying on you. And once more people realize that, they're going to get away from the iPhone and the Android phone, the stock Android phone, the Googled Android phone. But yeah, anyway, if you know anything about this Light Phone 3, let me know. It looks kind of interesting. And here's a podcast episode that was just released a few days ago, actually on June 7th. This is an episode of Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. If you haven't heard Hardcore History before and you're into history, you got to listen. This is arguably, and I'm not even exaggerating, this is arguably the greatest podcast show ever. And the downloads might bear that out. Hardcore History is just a great show. Dan Carlin does a great job. And he has a new episode 71, titled Mania for Subjugation. And he's finally doing a series on Alexander the Great. He says he's been talking about it for 2 decades, and now he finally is doing it. And by the way, this first episode here is it's a shorter one for Dan Carlin. It's only about 4 hours. Oh, it's 4 hours and 11 minutes. You can't see it. It's behind me, but yeah, he usually does 4 to 5 to 6 hour episodes, which are great. But let me tell you something. You start listening, you won't be able to stop. You'll be going to bed at night with your earbuds in, the whole thing. Anyway, I can't wait to learn more about Alexander the Great from Dan Carlin the Great. Hey, someone quote that. Someone clip that, please. All right, here we go. Now let's get to the real the real post of today. Oh. Donald Trump Jr., right? Oh, come on. This is good. All right, I love it. This is our website, fractalbitcoin.com. Come up to the top here. It says, join our locals community. Click that. Come over to our locals community, which is free to join. And I post some exclusive short videos here. And this is where we're doing our community. So if you want to be part of that, jump over there. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, or follow if you're on Rumble. And I appreciate all your support, all the regular viewers and the YouTube comments. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I'm really happy to be on this journey with you all. Basically, while this elite cartel is trying to destroy the world, we're figuring out how to save the world, honestly. And Bitcoin is the biggest part of that. Fix the money, fix the world. That's like the truest statement ever right now in today's world. So I appreciate you all. I'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's Bitcoin news video. All right.